Is the correction for Bitcoin over, or should we still expect lower price targets? Will Bitcoin bounce? Will the uptrend resume? Let's go ahead and jump in. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you all having an amazing week. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin on the macro, the daily, and the short-term charts, going over two very important questions. Will Bitcoin bounce and regain strength continuing back upwards, or will we see this correction continue lower? Before we do get into the video, smash that like button, hit that comment button, and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos on Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical and the structural information. No hype, no BS, no emotion, pure raw TA. If that is the kind of content you're interested in, make sure to join us on Telegram. It is the third link down below. You'll get access to charts, updates, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop with cryptocurrency, with Bitcoin, and the relevant economic news. If you are interested in our trading channel, our VIP, you can get access to exact entries, exact targets, exact stop losses, trade justification, exclusive analysis, and so much more. You'll also get access to our group chats, our general chat, our trading chart and education chat, our help, our daily video, our trade setup, and our news chat. If you're interested in more information, contact me in the pinned comment of the free channel to check that out and to find our entire trading track record. Let's go ahead, guys, and get stuck into this, starting on that market data. How are we looking? 24-hour volume is down 31%, sitting at a total of 92 billion. Taking a look at 24-hour liquidations, we are down 64%, sitting at a total of 106 million. Of the 24-hour liquidations, we can see 50 million have come from longs and 56 million have come from shorts, as Bitcoin did see a little bit of short-term volatility in the last 24 hours. We did chop upwards from our range low all the way up to retest this major area of resistance, which is that prior area of support, that 40,200 to 40,800 range, where again this area was a prior area of support that we broke down. We've come back up and retested it. So we saw a little bit of a chop in the last 24 hours, resulting in both over leveraged longs and over leveraged shorts being liquidated. Moving on from there, guys, taking a look at the DXY. The DXY has broken down from that major short-term uptrend. We did see a strong move toward the downside, actually retesting that 50 EMA, and we've come back up and we're about to close that 12-hour just above the trend line. So we are watching that very closely. Again, if we do fall below this one on that daily chart, if we are unable to hold above here on that daily chart, we are expecting a correction for the DXY, potentially back down to these equal lows at 101.5. This will be very bullish if it does occur for cryptocurrency and for the stock market. Taking a look at the stock market, the S&P 500 is still looking very strong as it bounces from the range high support level indicated by these two lines. We look at the range high between 4,800 to 4,730. The low and the high of this small range is now going to be providing an area of support. While we remain above this level, we would expect the S&P 500 to continue upwards to that 5,000 target, which is a psychological level of resistance, while we remain above that support level. A loss of that support level, thus a breakdown of that local low, should send the S&P 500 back down. At the moment, the bias is in this upward trajectory. This is the more likely scenario. Moving over to the Dow Jones, looking a little bit more shaky than the S&P 500 over here, coming back down to actually retest that respective area of support. Again, we created a small little channel over here, a small area of consolidation, which we did break upwards, and we have come back down to retest it again. While we remain above this area of support until it is not, we would expect a continuation upwards. It is only if we drop below this local low range would we expect a correction back down to a higher time frame level of support. Enough about that, guys. We got a lot to talk about today. There's a lot going on the charts, and we're going to get straight into it. Before we do, a quick word from Bitget and BingX. I wanted to briefly interrupt today's video to discuss the two exchanges we use on this channel, Bitget and BingX. So which exchange should you sign up to? If you look to the right hand side of the screen, you're going to see the list of differences in relation to KYC requirements and the countries these exchanges offer services to. The first link down below being the Bitget link, and the second link down below being the BingX link. No matter which link you sign up to, you're going to get up to 15% discounts on your trading fees, up to $5,000 in trading rewards, and of course, you'll get access to every single MegaWhale exclusive bonus campaign we run on these exchanges. Alongside that, Bitget and BingX are incredibly similar. They are both ranked top 10 in terms of trading volume, they both have extensive liquidity pools and market pairs offering up to 125x leverage, and most importantly, they both offer protection funds for their users to protect you against any third-party hacks. So get started now and support the channel by clicking the links below. Thanks for listening. Okay guys, let's go ahead and jump over to Bitcoin. So it's been quite a few days of Bitcoin, to say the least. We saw an 88-day period of basically only up. We saw basically only up for 88 days, taking us from $20,000 up to $48,000, which is a major high time frame level of resistance, an area we've rejected from. We have since seen about 12 or so days of downtrend, which has taken about 20% off the Bitcoin price, taking us down to retest our first of many major high time frame support levels indicated by these red boxes. The first one being the $40,000 to $38,000 level, which is the zone we are currently retesting. In today's video, we're going to be discussing what we expect from here, what the likelihood of a bounce from the zone is, and even a correction from this level. We're going to be doing that via the short-term chart. So let's go ahead and jump right in. If we take a look at the short-term price action, guys, we can see a very, very important level. That important level is going to be the prior level of support. This area acted as an area of support for just over, I would say, about 6 weeks. We saw this level active support for about 6 weeks. This, of course, was our support level at around 40,200 to 40,800. You can see when we finally broke below that level, we actually went all the way down to retest that $38,000 to $40,000 zone, which put us right in this support bracket on the higher time frame. So a big question is, are we bouncing from here? If so, what are we looking for to validate and actually confirm the bounce, and what would happen to the price action if that occurs? And could we see a correction lower, and what would we be looking for a correction to continue? So if you take a look at the current price action, guys, we are sitting within that high time frame support zone, which is kind of the area between these two levels. We have our upper level of resistance, our lower level of support. If we take a look at a potential bounce, we need to absolutely 100% break back above this local resistance. This was once a major support turns to a major resistance. It is a major trigger point for a continuation upwards. If we take a look at this level, we not only had 1, 2, 3, we had 4 major retests of this level. So it is a very significant area of liquidity. And if we do break above it, it would indicate this was deviation from the trend, and the price action will likely bounce back upwards. So let's talk about the likelihood of that, what we're looking for in the short term for that to validate, and why it is an area of massive significance. So first and foremost, we have to identify this level is currently a resistance. So I did take a whole bunch of long positions. You can see just how many long positions I took over here. You know, we can scroll through. I took about 26 different long positions from this local low, and I have actually sold these over here at this area of resistance, as we have to believe resistance is resistance until it is not. So objectively, while we remain underneath this resistance, we are still in this downtrend that we have been in, taking us towards this local low of support. But we also have to remember, while we remain above this area of support, we are still at support on the macro charts. So that puts us in a very interesting position where it's more of a decision zone. We're above high time frame support, but we're below small time frame resistance. If we break above this small time frame resistance, we are likely going to see a reversal in the price action, which would then again mark us as deviation and flip this resistance back into an area of support, which could facilitate a continuation back upwards. If we do see a break of that level, we are expecting again the POC level acting as a first major area of interest, and then our prior levels of resistance acting again as significant levels of interest. So more importantly, that 44,300 level. Above 44,300, we're looking at that local high range, the $47,000 level. And again, if we break above $47,000, we enter that macro level of resistance, which is the 48 to 46K range right over here. Again, a break of that on the macro scale sends Bitcoin significantly higher. So you can see how important this short-term range is right now, as it's going to determine the overall trajectory of Bitcoin for the next couple of weeks. If we are able to break back above here, the bulls are going to regain strength that could facilitate a reversal and continuation upwards. However, if we fail to get above this range, we are running the risk of breaking back below the 38. So what impact does that have? And after we explain that, we'll jump into the technicals and talk about the probabilities of either moves. So really quickly, if we do break below 38, as you can see, 38 is acting as a major area of support. It acted as a significant area of resistance for about 20 to 30 days during November. Again, we had that rising ascending triangle pattern, which is a bullish pattern. We saw a break toward the upside as we expected, a bullish pattern to break upwards. Now we are coming back down and we have retested that area as a neckline of support. A loss of this level will validate again the direction is going to be continuing down. If we do see a breakdown of this level, not only will we be breaking below this area of major support, we would actually be losing the high time frame support on the daily/weekly chart. That would run the risk of taking us all the way down to retest two specific spots. Number one, the 50 EMA, which is going to be acting at 37,000, and then the major area of support between 36,000 and 35,000. That will be our next area of high time frame interest if we do break below 38K. I would like to add additionally, if we break below 38K, we do run the risk of having a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly chart. A bearish engulfing candle would originate if the price closed a monthly candle underneath 37,700. That could again result in an extended correction for Bitcoin, something to consider. So let's go ahead and discuss the likelihood of a bounce or a continuation lower. Let's go down to the hourly chart. So we're looking at the price action over here. Sorry, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's go ahead back to the hourly chart. If we look at the price action over here, we can see again, we have seen a little bit of cluster, a little bit of, chop zone up and approaching this area of resistance. We do know this area is a significant area of resistance. So we're going to go ahead and draw our current trending, taking from our highs, retesting our points of resistance. This is now a 2-point retest. This is an area of interest. You can see this area of interest converges or is of confluence at the area of horizontal resistance, indicating again, if we do break above the horizontal resistance, we are going to be breaking above the downtrend that we have been in ever since this rejection point up at around on the 17th of January. It's about 10 days ago. This is a 10-day long downtrending diagonal resistance. So if we do break through this level, again, the trend will likely be flipping, and that could facilitate a flip of this resistance into support and a continuation back up to the POC. Until we break through this level, the closer we get to resistance, the greater the probability of a reversal for Bitcoin on the short term. I would also add, it doesn't matter what happens between this range. If we zoom out, nothing matters within this range. The only thing that matters is, do we manage to remain above this level on the high time frame, or do we drop below this level on the high time frame? It doesn't matter if we chop sideways here for a week or 2 weeks. It doesn't matter what happens. All that matters is the high time frame closes above these two areas of major significance. So if we do see a short-term correction here, again, while this area is acting as support and while this area is acting as a resistance, we are simply going to be chopping sideways until we have a directional continuation up or a directional continuation downward. If we do go over to a higher time frame chart, such as the 12-hour chart, we can see that momentum is starting to bottom out ever so slightly. We can see on the market cipher B, we do have a green dot print. That does indicate to us that the bearish momentum we have been seeing, okay, the downtrending momentum we've been seeing is beginning to exhaust. We are seeing bearish exhaustion, which is also known as bullish absorption. When we see that as support, it does indicate the bulls are trying to reverse the price. However, as of right now, we don't have proper validation that they do have the strength to do so. We do need to break slightly higher to actually see that full-blown reversal develop in the price action. If we head over now to a 6-hour chart, we can see ever so slightly how that is actually developing even more over here. We can see, again, we're having these attempts to reverse. We're having these attempts at exhaustion, but again, the price action keeps getting hammered down. The most important thing is that we do cross over, we do flip positive momentum, we have that full-blown crossover as we break through that level of resistance. And again, on the 4-hour, we are looking at that confluence point of the 50 EMA. So a break above the 50 EMA could indicate a flip in the trend. By no coincidence, the 50 EMA is sitting above the area of resistance. So we have that triple confirmation point. We have the downtrending diagonal resistance, point number 1, structure. Point number 1, trend. We have a horizontal resistance, point number 2, structure. And then we have point number 3, which is the strength of the trend, which can be derived from overall momentum, as well as average price over a specific period of time, which again is instanced or reflected by the 50 EMA. So a break of the horizontal resistance, the diagonal trend line, and the 50 EMA will give us 3 out of 3 points of validation. That is what we're looking for confirmation or confidence in the trend, and we would expect a continuation upwards. Any sort of breakdown of this low, okay, would be concerning. I would be concerned with any breakdown, whether it be a 4-hour, a 6-hour, a day, any breakdown, I would be concerned. I'd be watching it very, very closely for potential deviations. If deviations are not validated, I'd be expecting that correction to take us lower. First initial targets, we are looking for these low points. So we're looking for, again, 35.5. We are looking for 36.7, okay? We're looking for these local low points where we prior have found liquidity, these sell side liquidity points where we could potentially bounce from. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. All in all, the market is attempting to bounce. Like we've said in our post on Telegram, guys, we told you guys that, sorry, I posted a lot of stuff in here. We told you, just like all other times, majority are always wrong and the bias are always late. Expect the bottom of every move while we are in a macro uptrend to be much higher than the majority are calling for, just as, okay, the tops of every move in macro bear markets to be much lower than everyone is calling for. It is the same thing over and over and over. As the price action rejects and continues downwards, why is everyone getting significantly bearish? It's because everyone is just regurgitating the information they hear by big accounts and YouTubers all over the web. They just regurgitate the same bullshit without really thinking through, okay? Bitcoin is down 22% from the 48K to 49K high. If you were going to flip bearish, you should have done so when we were telling you for a whole year that 48 to 49 was a major point of resistance, and if we were going to see a reversal, we should have seen it over here. If you're flipping bearish over here, you are late. Maybe you catch a few more percent, maybe you catch another 10%, it doesn't matter, you would have missed the majority of the move. So the reason why the majority seems massively bearish as the price action goes down is because as the price action goes down, there is more people talking about the bearish case scenario, therefore it is more attention surrounding the bearish case scenario. And again, as we know, who gets the most attention in this space? What opinions get the most attention in this space? It's the opinions and the voice that plays on people's emotions. So when people are very, very bearish targets get attention. We're going below 20,000. We're going to 3,000. All these crazy, wild, illogical targets get all this attention, and everyone starts regurgitating and spitting out the same bullshit. Where is when we're in a bull market, all these crazy wild targets, 300,000, 400,000 starts getting too much attention because it plays on the emotions. So when you start seeing everyone get emotional about their opinions, when you start to see emotional and irrational targets, understand and take a step back and say to yourself, the majority of the move has already played out. I need to be more cautious now with my decisions and I have to be aware of the actual trend and remain objective. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Check out the Crypto Academy courses. I haven't mentioned it for a while. A 10-unit course, guys. Me and Wolves of Crypto created it. It is a 10-unit course that goes over a whole bunch, focusing on technical analysis, market structures, candlestick patterns, identification of trade setups, market psychology, and general risk management. If interested, go on and contact us via email for more information, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.